Hi YouTube and fellow Doctor Who fans. Today I'm going to be continuing where I left off with Season 7 of Doctor Who, and I've just recently watched the third episode of Doctor Who called A Town Called Mercy. Let me just focus on it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I've actually never watched this episode before. I stopped at Dinosaurs on the Spaceship, which anyone who hasn't watched my video about it, I found it incredibly rubbish, to be blunt. So I went into A Town Called Mercy thinking, well, this episode can't possibly be worse than Dinosaurs on the Spaceship. So I went into it with an open mind, and I was actually quite looking forward to it because, as you can see, the front cover portrays the episode, and that's usually a good sign. If the front cover portrays the episode, it usually indicates that it's a really good story. So yeah, I've actually never watched it before when it originally first aired on TV, and I've just finished watching it, and first impressions are really good. It's amazing. So far, this is the best story of the seventh series so far. I haven't actually seen the rest of them after this, but so far this is the best one. Okay, so anyone who actually hasn't actually seen my videos before, they are spoiler free, so you don't have to pause them or mute the sound or anything. I don't really like it when you watch videos and then people tell you people tell you what happened right at the end, and it just spoils the entire point of actually watching the DVD. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm talking about the story first, then giving some my own personal thoughts on the episode, and then finally giving this a rating. So the story is the Doctor, Roy and Amy land in sometime in they actually land sometime in the Old West, and they suddenly come across a old western town, which, as you can probably tell by the title, it is called Mercy. The town is called Mercy, and for some weird reason unknown to the plot so far, the town is completely surrounded by a border of rocks and wood. And when the Doctor scans it with his screwdriver, they appear just to be ordinary pieces of wood and rock, nothing special. And at this point we don't really know why it's been put there. And there's a big keep outside as well, which the Doctor totally ignores, and he goes in there with Rory and Amy. And the town residents are very wary of strangers. They're very shy. Well, not really shy. They don't like strangers. They hide in their homes, and then they look at the Doctor and Amy, and because they're strangers. And when the Doctor introduces himself as being a alien, the townsfolk, as expected, chucked him out of the town because they have been under attack by this strange, mysterious robot cyborg called the Gunslinger. And this strange gunslinger has been going around the old western town and killing all these random people for no apparent reason. And the townspeople have heard that he's been looking for someone called the Doctor, and he happens to be a alien. and so the townsfolk automatically assume that Matt Smith is the person that this gunslinger wants to kill. But the town sheriff comes along and he doesn't like this, and he tells the Doctor to come back into the town, and we now discover that these rocks and these pieces of wood have been put around the town to stop the gunslinger from coming into the town and wreaking his havoc on the town, because he's got his big machine gun for an arm and he looks really, really badass. As time goes on, we discover that Matt Smith isn't the person that the gunslinger is actually looking to kill. And I mean, small world, there is an actual alien doctor in the town which actually came to the town because he crashed his spaceship near it, and the town residents took him in as one of their own, and because he's a doctor, he helped him out with all their medical needs, and he's helped the town to actually get light and hot water and all that to actually help him survive and help him basically live, really. And first glimpses of the alien doctor, he seems a very timid and kind person, and we don't really know why this gunslinger is trying to kill him. But as time goes on, we discover that this mysterious doctor isn't what he first appears to be, and we soon find out that he is. He came from another time, and he invented the gunslinger. He was in this war, and him and his people wanted to actually shorten the war, so they got all these people from their world and made them into cyborg creatures, and they actually helped them win the war in a short time period. But this gunslinger is trying to kill this doctor because of what he actually done to him, because he's turned him into a machine. And in the end, this doctor has to work with our loved doctor, Matt Smith, to help save the town, even though this alien does have a darker side to his personality. He really turns out to be like a really, really nice guy. This story has a bit of a Frankenstein type of feel to the story, about this strange, mysterious, overbearing creature that's trying to get in contact with his creator and to try to find out who he is. The gunslinger is a very, very good and amazing villain in the Doctor Who series. I'm struggling now to think about a villain that even comes close to him. I don't think even the Cybermen and the Daleks combined could even come close to how amazing the gunslinger is. I do hope that the BBC brings him back in another story. That would be amazing if they did. Matt Smith is amazing in this story. He is everything that we loved about him and his character and his portrayal of the Doctor. And there's a moment in the story where the Doctor is actually pointing a gun at the alien and he's saying, right, get out of the town because I've got to save these people, and I cannot do this with you being here and putting all these people's lives in danger. And just the concept of the Doctor holding a gun is a very, very overwhelming thing for a Doctor Who fan, because the Doctor dislikes violence. Even in the classic series, he dislikes violence and he doesn't like to use it unless it's absolutely necessary. And at this point in the story, Amy interferes and actually brings the Doctor back to reality and actually says, look, look, I mean, we don't actually have to be like this alien. He's actually done really, really bad things, and you don't have to come down to his level. Because the Doctor, even though he tries to do the right things, no matter how much he tries, no matter how hard he tries to fight his enemies and foes, there are always going to be people that are going to be killed, and he does know that he actually eats them to his core. He doesn't like the fact that he can't save everyone, and that really made it to this story. Again, I would highly recommend that you actually go and watch this. This is the this is like the story to watch on this DVD. If I knew it would be this good, I would have skipped Asylum of the Daleks and Dinosaurs on the Spaceship and watched a town called Mercy. The rating I would give this is possibly an 8 out of 10. It's very highly recommended by me. And just a overview of the box. That's the front, side, back. Let me just focus on there for a minute. You got a picture of a scene of the town called Mercy, and a little blurb about it. That because it doesn't give anything away. And inside it's a single disc. Just focus on for a minute. There we go. And the disc is very nice to actually look at. And this DVD hasn't got any special features on it. But yeah, next week sometime I'm going to be talking about the second DVD in this first part, DVD box set. And this one has got 2 stories, and it's got all these special features on it. I haven't actually watched these 2 episodes, but I'm really looking forward to it, especially because it's got the Weeping Angels in it, and they are amazing. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please have a look at my other videos, and I will be putting our videos up soon. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye.